definitely check out this video. So much is going on right in front of you. You're not picking it up. Make sure you check out the description box. There's so much there right in front of you. You can read it. It's right in front of you. References everything you need to see what's really going on. And also Non-Nania, the YouTube channel Non-Nania also talks about 2020 and what's about to happen. So they are telling you all this information. It's up to you to get it and take the necessary steps. All right, y'all really got to listen up. I've been trying to tell y'all, just listen up, look at the picture, especially the picture to the left. But you want to look at the whole thing because it told a story that's about to be fulfilled. It's 23 years since the death of that rapper right there to the left. 23 years, that's the number of the Sirius constellation. This is where you get Mother Mary, the Black Madonna, Isis. All right. So just look at everything because everything's telling you a story. Now, the person with that 13 on is a gentleman that they're saying killed that man to the left. But you got to really look at that man to the left. All y'all know who that is. Got to look at what he's doing. That's the most important thing you want to see. Now, right before David Bowie died, he told you about the Lazarus. You can go right now, listen to the song Lazarus. That's one of the last prophetic songs David Bowie gave before he allegedly died. Lazarus is based on John 11, which also has the number 4. Lazarus being in the grave for 4 days. I don't know how many of you people know the prophecy in Genesis 15:10. Genesis 15 verses 13. Yeah, 10 to 13. The 400-year prophecy of the real people of God. They'd go down for 400 years and then they would raise back up like Lazarus. I hope you're hearing me. And you need to keep looking at that picture to that gentleman. Any of you that are fans of that gentleman, you think of all the prophecies he gave and all the things he said about everything. He says it in this video. If you watch the video, gotta listen. And look at this is Orlando Anderson with the number 13. And this is what I told you guys you have to know about. That's why I have that video. You have to know what took place at MGM that night. And you will be surprised how many of these people in that video are still alive and running, and still you see them on these interviews talking. How many of you guys know she's got that 13? Why does he have that 13 on? Do you know that it's 13 moons this year? If you know anything about the Mayans and probably the Aztecs as well, because if I'm not mistaken, Tupac Shakur, where he got his name from, is an Aztec chief. Aztec chief. See, on my other channel, I talk all about the Mayans, the Sun people, the Aztecs, talk all about it. Because, see, I know the hidden prophecies. I know the hidden prophecies. And it's all in your music. The Grox One tries to explain it to you guys, but he doesn't really know it like I do. All right, Tupac Amaru, a monarch, indigenous monarch from Peru, the Inca. But the Inca, the Aztec, and the Mayans were all connected, related. If you need more information on that, then you can go to Sekhmet on YouTube. I believe you spell it Sekhmet. And to find it, because there's a lot of Sekhmet. So you got to put like Sekhmet, the Mayans were Egyptians. And she should come right up. She talks a lot about Nibiru and stuff like that. So I wanted to get that clear. Now, you know, the Mayans dealt with the 13 moon system and stuff like that. When you know these people, they deal with the 8th house of the zodiac. This is in Revelation chapter 9. You see all those things coming out of the bottomless pit. And you notice they say the scorpion. They have a king over them. The scorpion. Things like a scorpion or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. That's the 8th house of the zodiac. That's Scorpio. And if you go right now, if you go to myastrologybooks.com, they tell you that Pluto Planet Pluto rules Scorpio. This is all about death and resurrection. It's all about the phoenix. And they say that Pluto is the planet of the black people. They say that. And these are people are not, the people that run at it like astrologers, they're not what you would call African American or black or melanated people. You got to know this stuff because it's happening right before your eyes based on what David Bowie told you. And you got to remember who David Bowie was married to, so you know he had connections to like these melanated people connected to Africa. So I'm going to tell you again, everything you see is telling you a story that's about to be fulfilled. If you're a fan of this gentleman to the left, you know what he told you and all of his music, and you see him talking about it again. And 1 and 3 is also 4. 2020 is 4. The twin flame number 1111 is 22 is 4. In the Bible, 4 is angelic number. If you've never listened to it before, or you haven't listened to it in a long time, it's been 23 years, you need to listen to the interview that Suge Knight gave right after Tupac got killed in Vegas. Listen to what he says. He says some people are born, Tupac was sent. And he begins to talk about the mother. Now, I just told you about the Black Madonna. I just told you about Isis. I just told you about Sirius Constellation, number 23. So he starts to talk about the mother, the mother, the mother. So finally the reporter says to him, the reporter that was interviewing Suge, she says to him, who are you talking about, Afeni? The mother of Tupac Shakur. And then he just shakes his head and goes, yeah. But he never said who, he just kept going, the mother, the mother, the mother. So even anybody that's into this, astrology or whatever, they're always talking about the divine feminine and stuff like that, or the high priestess if you do the tarot cards. This is all the divine feminine. It's the great mother that everything came out of. And she's called the darkness in the Bible. And if you study close enough, you're going to see that number 6 is always associated with her. Like at the cross, Luke chapter 23, verse 43 to 46, at the 6th hour, Messiah is dying on the cross, and then it goes dark, totally dark. That's the presence of this feminine that we're talking about. In Exodus chapter 20, verse 21, Moses went into the darkness where God was. So there's about to be a rebirth. And even when you go to Revelation 9, when that angel comes down and opens up the bottomless pit, the same darkness that you see in a prophecy of Genesis chapter 15. So when this Messiah comes back in Matthew chapter 25, what did he tell you? Anybody that did anything wrong to my brothers, I'm going to do it to them. Do you even know who his brothers were? He's not talking about Christians. He came out of the tribe of Judah. This Messiah that you call Jesus Christ in this country. He came out of the tribe of Judah. He was one of the 12 tribes of Israel. That was a Hebrew tribe. If you also study the history of these people, they were in Babylon one time before the book of Daniel. They were captives in Babylon, and then God came and freed them. Now, right at 400 years, now you guys got to listen up. This is where it really, really gets good. Right at the end of 400 years, they're pushing with Iran. And Iran said they're going to take vengeance. At the end of 400 years, a lot's going on. Have you ever been to this YouTube channel right here to the left, Golden Age Hip Hop? You see all these people coming back. When you go there, you're going to see a picture of DMX sitting in front of a picture of Pac. Now, why did they do it that way? Just a coincidence? What point are they trying to make? What are they telling you? And last I know, wasn't he supposed to be in jail for some tax-related crime? So unless you know what happened in this middle picture, MGM with that number 13, you really don't know what's going on. And even though they've been telling you this for years, It's like if you're a big fan, you would know this man's lyrics. He's been telling you for years. Some of these people affiliated with him have told you also. Suge made a couple of statements one time. Now, if you saw this video, there's a reason why he's got a cigar in his mouth. And it's the reason why he took that Death Row matchbook and burnt it up. Did you hear the lyrics he said before he did that? About you robbing me of my money and blah, blah, blah. Because anybody that knows the whole story of what happened with that, even Afeni, his mother, had to take primarily Suge to court to get money that was owed to Pac. Now, anybody looking at that picture can tell you that's an older Tupac. And if you knew what happened here in this middle picture, you would know what happened that night. That this man, number 13, allegedly killed this man to the left. You need to be listening to the titles that they're telling you. And there's a reason why you're seeing all these former Death Row members coming back together. The death and the rebirth. And they will drop a song sooner or later. Like all this battle rap came back and I called it. Because I know what's going on. I said, we're about to go back to the days of battle rappers. That's why they could get all these battle rappers back. And when I gave that little prediction or prophecy, they weren't doing it yet. Now I told you, I have the video of 13 Pac, all about that middle picture. And now the left one, more confirmations from the universe. And I got more. I got way more than that. And when I gave you the video, 13 Pac, I didn't even know it's 13 moons in 2020. Now, the Old Testament people, which is who these people are, these melanated people, they've always been moon people. Now, the people in the New Testament, those are the sun people. That's why when the Messiah rose, he rose at the early of the sun rising. So you got two different people in this purpose of the God that really runs this whole universe. If you just read Genesis chapter 1, he tells you about why the sun was put in the sky and why the moon was put in the sky. The laws of the Hebrews were given by the moon. The so-called Christian grace was given by the sun. We have reached that day of fire that the Bible talks about, that the Quran talks about. To see how this unfolds, and all this is based on as above, so below. That's why I constantly tell you, when this Messiah came, this Messiah is going to come again and take out anybody that has nothing to do with what I'm telling you here. According to Scripture, I didn't say it. Just the three major holy books are saying it. For the three major religions. So all based on astrology. When that Messiah came, first thing they said his star. His star. Talking about his natal chart. This is why I always tried to push it. And this is why I always tried to make it available. I never sat back and said, wow, I can make a lot of money like most people do. I always kept the price very affordable. Because time is running out now that we're in this final year. Because these people being in captivity and being treated like second-class citizens and all that crap is over with. And it changes like this. The twinkling of an eye. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verses 50 to 55. Matthew chapter 24 says, when the day of that tribulation is over for these people, immediately he comes. Hebrews chapter 12 tells you that after he disciplines his children, immediately it's over with. You have to know astrology. You have to know why you're here. You have to bring yourself in harmony with your true purpose. Just like if you went to a foreign country, you can just walk in a foreign country and do whatever you wanted to. They're going to have rules and regulations and stuff like that. You've been deceived, just like the Garden of Eden, by somebody telling you it's okay to do this, okay to do that. But they tell you it's a democracy. So people that have taken oaths to lie to you and send you down and make you not believe in this, although all the ancients believe in it. Just like if you're a good Catholic, then you know the rosary. The whole procedure of the rosary is asking this great divine mother, the same thing Pac said, Hail Mary, not to send you to hell, to pray for you, to intercede for you. She's called the precious advocate. Make sure you get that video. You'll have the updated information, plus this video in the middle about what really went down that night. I still remember talking to a guy from New Jersey, one of the biggest gangsters of all time. Knew him personally. He was locked up when he told me this. He wrote me in a letter or something. Or I might have got him on a phone call. And he was out in Cali. He knew all them dudes. You see him in rap videos, all the clubs he'd be in, and he was a New Jersey gangster. And I remember him telling me back in 1996, they just shot up Pac in Vegas, and they helicoptered him out of there. And they tell you it wasn't no helicopter, and blah, blah, blah. But I still remember 23 years ago, when Doc said specifically, they helicoptered him out of there. So I'm telling people again, this video in the middle explains it all with the updated information, because now this channel right here, Golden Age Hip Hop, you see all of them coming back together, forming. And there's a reason why he's got that cigar in his mouth and he burns up that death row. Do you guys even know that they just brought death row for $4 billion on January 1st, 2020? Did you guys know that? Look it up. And this is the same time when it's female. This is always going to be about a young female. Young female mysteriously dies. And another up-and-coming artist. Why are all these artists dying at 21 and up-and-coming artists mysteriously dying? With no answers. All this is talked about in the video. But there'll always be some type of young female that has to do with all these things you see. From Tawana Brawley. Because Mother Mary was only about 13 or 16 when she was told she'd be pregnant. So you're always going to see, there's three stages of the divine feminine. The young girl or the teenager, that's the first stage. Second stage is the woman. The third and final stage is the old lady, the crone. So that's like she represents your full moon, which is why you're getting this revelation right before the full moon. And that's why I told you, the full moon represents her and these children. When you go to Revelation 12, that's what you're looking at. Her being pregnant with the full moon and the sun. I already told you what they both mean. Just like when you study the person called Israel or Jacob, he had two wives. Rachel represents the Christians. Leah represents these people. So you get all this, all the updated information, that video. If you don't have your natal chart, that as well. Because you need that. That's telling you why you're here. You just can't come and make up your own. You're out of harmony with the universe. And if you're using bubblegum astrology, you might as well go ahead and kill yourself before the end comes. Just saying. I'm not saying go do it. But I'm just making a point. Because you're out of line with your purpose. And that's why the Holy Book of Quote equates that star or astrology or the natal chart with the birth of the Savior. So you're totally out of pocket with that. That's why if you study it, right away they start killing everybody. And the only reason why he got away was because of the star and the angel, Gabriel. So they're telling you a lot. You're dealing with people that deal with symbolism and all this stuff. You got to learn how to be patient and study it. And if you don't know how to do it, you got to deal with experts such as myself. Otherwise, you're just going to think the world's going to keep going on. No, it's not. Immediately after the wake up, just like he waited till he died to tell you that. This is stuff that David Bowie knew for years. Just like David Bowie told you about Kanye before Kanye ever came. He knew a lot of shit. But he waited until... Well, he told everybody about Kanye, though. He did tell you about K West or something. It's a song he's got, but he named Kanye way before Kanye came on the scene. But anybody knows David Bowie knows he was always in the deep stuff, and he was always what we would call weird. But he knew. That's why he had a melanated wife, a woman of color. He knew. So, for people like me that know, there's a lot that went on. A lot that went on with Suge. A lot that went on with people that you may not know. If you don't know the whole story of Tupac, you don't know these people. They're still around as well. But you see them online. They're all giving interviews. So that's your natal chart. Natal chart update. This is the 13 Pac video in the middle that you're looking at. The one on the left represents the update. Because you got that female that allegedly died. But it's not just her. It's a whole lot of... Most of these are up-and-coming artists just dying or allegedly being killed and all this stuff. Why? Why? Reminiscent of Lisa Lopez, who Jermaine Dupri said was a lot like Tupac. And there's another one. Her last song from GRL, that melanated female, she gave you a song where she put on a bandana like Pac, wore it like Tupac, and the name of the song was Vacation. Next, you know, she's dead. And I also predicted that 2 weeks in advance. Because that would happen. People that have been following me for a long time. So make sure you order this information. I spelled it all out for you. And you can probably have it within minutes. As long as I'm here at this desktop, you have it within minutes. If I happen to be away from the desktop, as soon as I come in, you'll have it in minutes. And thank God, tonight is Friday the 3rd. And I will be here this whole weekend. If you notice on my channel, it's a whole lot of information. Also, your full moon reading. Make sure you have the most recent services offered and price lists. Things like that. And there's a lot of sales going on too. We just had card reading. Somebody had a really good card reading. Like that woman, she bought a lot of different services. But now she's healed. And I put her letter up because that's how important it was. Because she did it the correct way. She did it the way the universe tells you to do it. And not only is she blessed now because of this, she's going to be more blessed than that. And she's opening up a healing center where helping all those people. Some of those people have already contacted me. So this is the awakening. Everybody knows that about 2020. This is the awakening. And this is why this guy to the left, who people say is a modern day prophet, he told you all this way back in the early 90s. He told you all of this. And it's going down verbatim the way he said it. And I can't wait to tell people what he's trying to show you. Right now, go to that YouTube channel. Right now, go to that YouTube channel and look at DMX. And whatever, y'all know when y'all saw DMX, because he's a man of God as well. But when y'all saw DMX, he looked like really, before all of this, he looked almost like, wow, he's really messed up. He's really messed up. Because you remember when Kanye had his breakthrough, he calls it. People say breakdown, Kanye says breakthrough. It was DMX that came out and sent him a shout out. And then all of a sudden, DMX was allegedly supposed to get locked up for some type of tax stuff. Shortly after, I don't remember how far after that. But now DMX is looking pretty good. I'm shocked. I haven't seen DMX look that good in years. Because that's how it is when you get good news. When you can do your music and don't have to bow down to these homos and this Illuminati garbage. That's why DMX is starting to look good again. Because he loved his music. Everything was DMX with his music. And plus, like me, he's a very spiritual person. So that awakening is upon you. Get the information. Know what's going on. Don't be left out. And stop being disobedient with the universe. Because when that arrival comes, even I was listening to an Indian chief, and I'm not talking about, when I say Indian, because you got different kind of Indians. You got the indigenous people that are, you could call them Indian, but they were more like these people, so-called Egyptian bloodlines and stuff like that. And then somehow got a mixture and all that because they were trying to wipe these people out. And so now you got different types. Well, he was the other type, and he was an Indian chief. And he said it's essential to go back in harmony, become one again with the universe. Because when this destruction comes, if you're not one with the universe, you're out of here. I've heard RFG Chosen One say that. A lot of people are saying that. So if you're still not one with the universe, you're out of here. And you have all this information constantly to tell you what to do. And if you need somebody to decipher it, the universe is giving you that too. It's where you put your belief system. Because if you believe it, you'll do what you're supposed to. If you don't believe it, you'll keep on doing what you're doing. And like I said, the whole purpose of the democracy, and all the freedom is to do the same thing to you that them same demons did to Eve in the Garden of Eden. Tell her she was free, could do what she wanted. God was not going to judge her. And then she wasn't free. She was held accountable for what she did, her and Adam. And God did judge them. And they did get kicked out of that garden with that flaming sword. And that represented hell. Because he said, in that day you will die. In that day, which represented 1,000 years. A day is 1,000 years at its most high. They were kicked out. And that flaming sword, the sword represented the word of God, which is also the Messiah. And that fire represented hell, eternal damnation. And you see that fire again in, I think it's Matthew chapter 3. They talk about that fire right when Jesus came on the scene. In Matthew chapter 3. And you see it again in Revelation chapter 1. Talking about the sword, but the fire. And throughout the book of Revelation, talking about that fire. That is a location. A real location. So it's not a joke. And that time is ending. So hopefully you'll get the information. Pull yourself in line with the universe. Wake up and get the healing like that woman did. That just did services with me. And you won't be deceived by anything that's going on. But make sure if you haven't watched it, watch that video to the left. Whatever you do, make sure you watch it. He's showing you how he had the last laugh. And he's got this cigar in his mouth because his boss used to have a cigar. But now his boss was almost facing death row. And if you know what happened with that, you'll find out what really happened. And he showed him burning up his past. Burning up his past. You tried to get me, but I had the last laugh. And he says it in his lyrics, if you're listening. And he even talks about his demise or something in the video. You'll see him write it. It's written on the wall. And when he says the number 2, but he spells it with the 2. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. But he was always an honest dude. He always told you in his music. He always told you what was going on. This is Get. I'm out.